Hi everyone, today I wanted to show you this 1 to 12 scale racer. So this is an upgrade of the mini racer that I made a few months ago, and that what had some issues, and I wanted to improve on the issue fix those issues and improve on the design. So first thing, I went up the scale. The other one was 1 to 16 and this is 1 to 12, and this allowed me to implement many improvements. First, I'm using proper wheel bearings from the Audi, which means that no longer there will be issues with the wheels falling off. Next, we have independent suspension in the rear, in the front, for each wheel. We also have all-wheel drive. So, all-wheel drive, suspension. Of course, we have steering, and this one steers at quite a high angle. It is around 30 degrees, so I'm really happy with that. We have a high steering angle, and of course we also have independent drive for right and left side, which means that this model can skid steer, it can steer on the spot, which further increases maneuverability, and there's also a 2-speed gearbox, so low gear and high gear. So we have a 2-speed gearbox, and I want to talk about that quickly. So the gearbox works by using 2 buoys motors, and each of the buoys motors output is used for the gearbox. So in the low gear, I'm using the slow output of the buoys motor, which drives a 12-tooth gear, which drives a 20-tooth clutch gear. But in the high gear, I'm using a high speed output, which drives a 16 gear and a 16th clutch gear, and this gives a combined gear ratio of 1 to 2. So this model has enough torque to basically drive drive up the hill or spin the wheels, but also enough speed to reach around 1 or 11 or 12. How fast I went? I think it's around near 12 kilometers an hour. So it's a good combination of torque and speed in such a small model. The only negative side of this gearbox is that when you're in the low gear, let's say left motor is driving the left drive, right one is right drive, but when you switch the gears, the motors switch. So you have to watch out when you're driving that when you're in a high gear, that the skid steering is reversed. It's a small small issue. You have to be careful, but nothing, let's say, deal breaking. So we have drive, we have suspension, we also have opening doors, and if you open the doors you can see they have a full interior, so you have 2 proper seats, and I also have a working steering wheel. And actually the funny thing about this steering wheel is that it's not connected directly to the steering motor. Originally it was connected directly to the steering motor, where I used 12 to 12 gear ratios for the perpendicular drives to the wheels, but then I had to change the gear ratios with the car because the car didn't have enough torque, which also meant that I had to redesign the steering system. So now the steering system is designed so that there is a third linkage that is connected to another gear rack, and that gear rack is driving the steering wheel via 3 gears. So I had to improvise, and I came up with a really unique solution, and this way we have a working steering wheel. Another thing worth mentioning is the suspension. I'm using a very high angle of suspension in this model for 2 reasons. Because first, I wanted to have the heavy things such as motors placed as low as possible, which means that the gearbox had to be placed higher, and then the drive comes a bit higher and then is lowered again to the wheels. Another reason I'm using a high suspension angle is because I wanted to have the wheels and the model as narrow as possible, so the wheels stick out much less when there is a suspension angle, and you can see that the wheels stick out a bit more when the suspension is compressed. So that's also another reason why I'm using such a high steering angle, and this is why I also cannot increase the ground clearance any more than it already has. It has around 1 stud, 8 millimeters, and you can see that it is so the angle is so high of the suspension components that when you steer, it actually lowers the front just a slight bit, because the hub and the steering arm are like at their maximum angle. So this means also that the front CV joints, when you're steering at a high angle, are really at their maximum angle. So I bought the whole CV joint, I'm gonna use the whole CV joint angle something, and yeah, when you're steering the front wheels, you can see that they do vibrate a bit because of this high steering angles, but nothing deal breaking. So yeah, this is about the theory. So let's see how it works in practice. as you see, the model performs really well. I did manage to crash it and actually managed to break one of these pieces. I broke it, so I quickly glued it now for presentation purposes, and then I'm gonna order a new one when I have the time. So, other than the crashing and the slight damage here, the model performed really well. It is very robust. There were no other issues, and I am really happy how it performs. Like, it managed to climb up the pump track. Those hills go over 45 degrees. Even though it's no crawler, it managed to have enough torque to overcome that. And it reached around 11-12 kilometers an hour, so I'm really happy with the speed, with the performance. I think it just works great. The only thing you have to be careful of are two things. First thing is that the left and the right side drive switch when you're in a high gear, and you have to be careful about the bevel gears that are used for the wheels. So basically the drive goes axially, the drive goes axially, and then I'm using bevel gears to drive the wheels, and you have to be careful not to overload them. So I'm using current limiters so those gears don't slip. Another area where I'm using current limiter is for the gearbox. So I'm using a 100 milliamp current limiter so that the drive motor driving the gearbox doesn't damage anything. So I'm using basically all the tricks and features of both the application and the design to make this model work as great and as optimal as possible, and I am really happy how it turned out. And one thing worth mentioning is that I forgot to mention is that I had a design goal of having under 1000 parts, and I'm ended up at 998 parts, as you can see in Lego Digital Designer file. So under 1000 parts, all-wheel drive, all suspension, independent wheel drive, gearbox, opening doors, opening hood, working steering wheel, full interior. I think I did great, and if you think I also did great, then please remember to like, subscribe, share, maybe leave me a comment and so on. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I wish you a nice day. Bye bye.